Well, I think the synthesis is to take everything that you've learned and put it together and see how it fits into a concept.
Mm.
And so once I learned to play with Indian musicians, this started in 1987 when I met John McLaughlin.
Sure.
And then through him in 1988, I met Trilok Gurtu. And then Trilok taught me Konakol. And that's when my mind exploded because up to that point, I was listening to Led Zeppelin, to R&B, funk, Earth, Wind and Fire, Summer Weather Report, I got into Stanley Clarke, but still, even Weather Report and Stanley Clarke, they're not really all that much into odd
No,
meters.
no, definitely.
And so it came with Indian classical music. And then later on, I ended up just thinking about it a lot. And I found a kind of like a master exercise that is sort of like the mother of all exercises for learning odd meters. And like imagine this, maybe if I can do a screen share,
Yeah, yeah, please.
I could find it here in my Google folder and see if I can show it to you. I think I may have already found it if I'm lucky. Yep, there it is. Okay. So let's see. Oh, would you be able to enable participant screen
Yeah,
sharing?
oh, I see it.
So
Yeah,
if you go to the lower
yeah.
panel of the there's
Who
there's
can share?
something that
Got it.
says
Yeah, I think I did it
like
now.
probably under participants.
Yeah, I think I did it. Let's see. Hopefully.
Okay, let's see if it works.
Oh
All
yeah,
right.
we got it.
Can you see it?
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to minimize this a little bit. So this is basically an exercise that will teach you all polyrhythms, like all of them, as in leaving none out, which, follows math.
Yeah, sure. Of course.
Mathematics and
Yeah.
music are essentially the same thing. You could look at music as being living math, right? So now imagine you see how you have a horizontal axle
Mm-hmm.
that is labeled 1 through 9, and then a vertical axle that says elevator
Yeah.
ad infinitum that keeps going up. So there is a 9 up there as well, and imagine it keeps going
Yeah.
into
Yeah.
infinity, right? And so also the horizontal keeps going into infinity. So imagine that this is a building. You have an elevator, and those are floors, right? Floor 1 through 8 going up. And then you have rooms. And the rooms are first room, second room, third room, all the way, and it keeps going. Now, if you look at the starting point, which is down here where the number 1 is, this is 1 1 time. 1 1
Yeah.
1 1. Yeah. So the tempo is adjustable. You figure out how fast or slow you want to do it. When you go to the horizontal elevator and you go up the floors, you are dividing the 1 into increasing numbers.
Mm-hmm.
So from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 and so on. So if I use Konokol, let's say, ta is 1, taka is 2, takita is 3, takadimi is 4,
Yeah.
etc. So you would have ta, ta, ta being the bottom. And then let's say you crawl up the wall on the side of the building. It sounds like this, right? Ta, ta, taka, 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 takita, 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 takadimi, takadimi, takadimi,
Yeah.
takadimi, tak, takita, taka, takita, taka, takita, ta, takadimi, taka, takadimi, taka, takadimi, taka, ta. Takadimi, takita, takadimi, takita, takadimi, takita, ta. you know, like that. So you see how this is 1/1, and each beat gets divided like this. So you can do that on a bass, and it's already a great timing exercise, right? Just a click and just divide your beat in increasing numbers and see how far you can go. And then when you reach your limit, you work on that like a construction site. Let's say if I get to 1 to 5 and I lose it at 5, then I make 5 my construction site. And when I get up in the morning to practice for 10 minutes, I work on only 5. I don't work on what I already know. You see, so that's the system. So you make the best out of your time by not repeating yourself and always finding the border between what you know and what you don't. You see, if you go too far, you get frustrated. If you don't go far enough, you get bored. So okay, so now if you go back to the graph, let me now explain what the vertical line is. I'm sorry, the horizontal line. Vertical is upward, horizontal is lateral. So the horizontal line going at the bottom towards the 9. So if I'm going there, I'm adding numbers. So in other words, like 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, right? And so on. So you see, like the beat is here. You add the beats up, and it goes horizontal. You divide the beat, it goes vertical. Now, so far, so good. Now, watch what happens when I go to the second floor. All right, so the second floor means everything I do is divided in 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, so now if I go to the second floor and then I visit the rooms horizontally from 2 to 3 to 4 and so on, it sounds like this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Now, if I go to the third floor, everything is divided in 3. So you start with 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, takita, 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 takita is the rate of subdivision, and then you make that into numbers.
Oh, okay.
Like takita, 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 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. You see? And it gets interesting because let's say you go to something like 5, most people will be lost. Right? But when you study, like, you know, I spend time with this, so I go, now we're at tak tak it 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 tak. Everything is in 5, right? Tak 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 it 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 tak it, like 5 against 3.
3,
and you can go on and on like this, and you can see it's very extensive. And so if you work with this type of thing, anything that happens in the studio, if somebody says, oh, I got the song in 11, it's like you kind of already know it. See, you know it ahead of time because you have looked at the whole playing field and you understand how it all connects, you know. And that's something I recommend to every musician.
That's amazing, man. Wow.
Is to spend time on understanding how elements connect with one another. Examine relationships. That's the next level of knowledge. You know, too many of us get stuck on individual things, this against that, you know, which is better, which is faster. That's not the interesting thing. Like, imagine that all of the stuff, the slow and the fast and the high and the low, the hot and the cold, you know, the good and the bad, they all are part of a playing field. It's like you put salt and pepper together and you mix it in a jar and you throw it out on a table. It's all like that, you know. and it's your attention that can point out, oh, now I want to see only the salt, or now
Yeah,
I
yeah.
want to see only the pepper, and you see that the way you look at it, the quality of your attention changes the way you see the world.
Mm,
Now there are underlying patterns between the salt and the pepper. There you can see shapes. Like, why is there, a star shape around this thing here over here? There's more pepper than salt. What's going on? I'm just using an analogy, right,
analogy. Yeah,
here.
sure, sure. Yeah, I got you.
Um,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
so when you understand the relationships, you start to see where the problems are and where the solutions are.
yeah.
And that I think is
Quite cool.
important because, music is not separate from life. And often we get pushed into corners, like, we are musicians, we are not scientists, right? We are musicians, we are not physicists. Um, but like, you examine the relationship between physics and music, between math and music,
Yeah.
between culture and music, and again, the relationships take you to the next level of understanding. You start to see the master patterns behind
Mm,
everything. I
definitely.
cannot
Yeah, yeah.
see to the end of it, because the world is bigger than my ability to comprehend. But you can advance, and
Sure.
and get somewhere.
Yeah, this is really a good one. Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
thanks for
yeah,
sharing. Beautiful.
sure.
Man. Uh, how do we escape this? Oh yeah,
Yeah.
there we are. One. Okay, good. You answered my question very good. Now I got you. Like when I hear you play, because you make it sound so effortless. With whoever, obviously with
But
your technique.
there is another thing that might be interesting for viewers, about effortlessness.
Hmm.
And there is effort, but the effort is in the concentration and not so much in the power of the muscles.
Mm,
You see, like,
yeah,
because the it's almost like in music, to play really good music, you want to have both power, you want to project so that people can feel what you're doing,
yeah,
and you also you want to uh, you want to protect vulnerability. Vulnerability is sort of like the emotional center where you yourself are not secure. It's
yeah.
almost like, I know it's hard for me to put that into words, but
But I know too. Yeah,
it's almost it's like the from the vulnerability. Let's say if I am walking through a jungle and I'm not sure if there is an animal that's going to eat me, but the jungle is really interesting and intricate and beautiful. So I'm very intrigued. So I want to go, but I'm scared because I don't know what it is.
sure.
So
Yeah,
if you put yourself into that frame of mind, you are going to be very alert, right? Like, all your senses are going to be like open, right? You're listening, you're watching, you're smelling what's going on, you're curious, so the curiosity moves you forward, but your senses are like, if something happens, I'm going to run, I'm going
yeah.
to turn around and go out. So that is what I mean by vulnerability. It's like, you know um, when I play music from that space, it's I the music is much more interesting than if I execute music from a place of strength only, right? Like, if I come out by saying, I'm a bad bass player, I know, I'm going to show you how it's done. Check me out. Right? There there's something is missing. You know, like, when you listen to like great musicians, it's like almost like when they're right on the borderline of falling apart.
Yeah,
You
yeah, yeah.
know, there's just something so, like, because I don't know, maybe it's because that's how life is.
Sure.
on a fundamental level. It's always between life and death, every second. And so that kind of sensitivity and vulnerability, like you want to have that intact and at the same time produce power, which makes it a paradox.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
so the way I solve that, or I try to solve that, is by telling myself, Kai, keep your body relaxed. Don't force it with your muscles. Try to bounce, on the bass. Like a basketball, use gravity to bounce with the body,
Yeah.
and focus in your mind so that you can be very precise with the tempo.
Yeah.
And you can also be flexible. That means like you can slow down, speed up, right? I'll give you an example.
Oh, please.
Here, all I need to do is I'm gonna have to plug in one cable here, and then I can show you what
Oh,
I
sure,
mean.
please. Yeah. Fantastic.
This thing, right? It goes around my foot to keep time. That way you can hear exactly what I'm doing,
Yeah.
even if it sounds like complicated, So, okay, I know Zoom sound is not going to be the best. In your upper left screen,
Yeah.
there might be something that says original sound for musicians. That should be on. That way.
Left.
If you don't see anything, then don't worry about it.
Okay, don't see it.
Original sound for musicians. But I just switched it on.
Okay.
So it should work. Okay. So let me see.
Yeah, I hear you. Cool.
Let's see. Okay, let's see. The light is a little funny right now because I have my blinds down, so I look like I'm a steak. I'm getting fried.
Yeah.
But hey, you can still see. It's all right, huh?
Oh man, it's cool. Yeah.
Okay, so what I mean with the flexibility, right? Let's say I'm gonna just play in 6, right? And this is like my new style that would be on the record, right? So you see right now I'm just playing E.
Yeah.
E octave.
Yeah, and a
fifth,
fifth. Yeah, sure.
and octave, right? And I'm using strum, I'm using thumb, right? Snap and hammer on. Those are the sounds, right? So now I will play in 6, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this was just a groove, right?
Oh yeah.
Now I have 3 notes, right? I have a low, mid, and a high. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the low note first, then the mid, and then the high, and I'll announce it, okay? So you will see how it shifts. So this is the 3-part harmony thing, right? So if I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So here comes the low note, right? Now comes the middle.
Yeah.
that's one dimension, right? So now if I want to go and change the meter into odd meters, so I will show you 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
Okay.
right? Same groove, but different meters, right? So start with 3. 1, 2, 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. And 9. So you see now you have this different dimensions, you
Yeah.
know, and you could call it out, right, and say shift now, and the groove will be completely even, right? Now it also the flexibility is like I can go very slow. Let's say I'll do 5, right? I'm in 5 and I go. And so what you're hearing here, right, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Over the top, like taka takita taka takita taka takita taka takita taka takita taka takita taka takita. Exactly. Or I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right?
Yeah.
So if I go. You see how I went slow and then slowly sped up?
Yeah.
And so the way that you get to being able to be so like fluid inside of it is like you teach yourself to learn the patterns separately and you play them for a long time. So you know I will use the bass as a way of meditation. You know, some people they go to the ashram and meditate. For me, it's the instrument is good. I think also meditation is great, by the way.
Yeah.
But the instrument can fulfill a similar function where, you know, the thinking is only in the beginning when you figure out what to do. And then when you implement, you have to repeat, you know. And when you're repeating, you have to stop thinking. Because if you're still thinking while you're repeating, then you're actually losing energy. So it's the mental discipline thing, you know. And so this way of practicing, it's like, you know, to come around to what you were saying earlier, it makes it appear like it's effortless. But it's actually a concentration effort, more at this point, more than a physical effort. I'm using, it's almost like I'm using more of a bouncing, you know, I mentioned the basketball, you know, like I'm trying to, I'm always trying to focus on how can I play with less effort and make more sound.
Yeah.
You know, so if you ask the right questions, you get the right answer. Like you work with your body tells you, hey, it might be like change your position,
Mm-hmm.
you know. Because I worked on this album for so long, I started to feel repetitive stress,
Yep.
you know. And I'm like, oh, my body is feeling like here my elbow, something is weird. And so I had to force myself to change technique and shift it to not always force the same nerves and muscles. And so I'm hoping I can keep it going, you know,
Sure. Yeah.
because I see there's a danger, you know, when you're doing high performance stuff, there's always a danger that you can injure yourself, you know.
Yeah.
And so one thing I will also recommend to young bass players is really, really be sensitive to your body. Don't force it. You know, ask yourself, and also don't stop. It doesn't mean that when there's resistance, you need to stop. It just means you have to find another way through the jungle.
Yeah.
You know, just change your attitude and then you can go. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah. Yeah.
like
Sure. Definitely. Yeah.
a trial and error, you know, you could say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful, man.